Let me show you guys something. Westfield Mall, San Francisco. This is supposed to be San Francisco's biggest and fattest mall. If you look at the images on San Francisco, oh, look at all these people, right? So many people are in this place. This is a very, very popular destination in San Francisco, not just for the residents in the area, but for tourism. There's restaurants, there's delis, luxury stores, and all things considered, it is a pretty good looking fat mall. But if you look at it from the outside, it's getting vacant and vacant every single day. If you see that Bloomingdale's, yeah, it's closing down. Nordstrom Rack is closing down. Nordstrom is closing down. This street used to be heavily populated with just a bunch of people. People that are here shopping every single day. Luxury storefronts that are never empty. The Old Navy has left. Levi's has left. Ross over there has left. Okay, AT&T flagship store right there has left. And pretty much everyone is gone. The only people that were really remaining are people shooting up fentanyl, people doing crack on the streets, and pretty much Westfield Mall, this location, went from prime real estate to garbage real estate super duper fast. Check this out. Westfield gives up San Francisco Mall, signaling more pain is ahead. Remember, Westfield is willing to lose money in the next few years if the city gets itself together. Remember, these big corporations, they're not dumb. They know that if they leave, they're probably never going to have enough money to come back. But because they don't see a recovery for the city at all, and I guarantee you, they probably hired a lot of those analysts to analyze the future of the city in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And they pretty much said this city is practically never going to recover. The laws here are absurd, and so many people have already left. And look at what Westfield looks like today. It just looks like this. People just doing fentanyl, people just doing drugs, people are just high in front of the Michael Kors store. Not that there's any people in it. Now, look at Westfield now. It's daytime. It's supposed to be a lot of shoppers. It's now completely empty. Nobody's here anymore. And Westfield executives have complained to city officials numerous times about constant theft and other crime plaguing the center. Mass robberies, shoplifting, theft. And has the city done anything? Absolutely not. Here's the thing. The cops, I'm sure, want to do things, but they know that if they do something, they're going to get canceled. And with the city pretty much never backing the police and never letting the police do any law enforcement, you pretty much just have people just stealing like a few $1,000s of goods and easily getting away with it. I mean, at this point in San Francisco, if you're buying things, what a lot of people are joking is, why buy things when you could steal things and have no consequences? That is San Francisco for you. And this is why so many luxury stores, designer stores, shops are all closing down. People really just ruined it for everyone. And with nothing there to shop and nothing there to, do commerce, there's barely any tourism, not a lot of business owners, and a lot of tech companies are frankly leaving. It's a dying city. Nobody wants to stay here. Don't be fooled by people who say San Francisco is still good. It's not good at all, okay? When I constantly see people getting robbed, when I constantly see cars being broken in and theft being up 41 whopping percent, this is not a place that you want to be in. I mean, if you look at the Nordstrom store in the Westfield Mall, it's now completely empty. It's closed. It's sad. Okay, this type of situation is now everywhere. And this is now going to be probably the new homeless district. And with this mall being completely vacant, and Westfield defaulting on a whopping like $558 million of debt, this pretty much means the death of San Francisco's downtown. And the San Francisco downtown region will probably never recover. You do have, Crate and Barrel leaving, CVS is leaving, Office Depot is leaving. So many of these stores have left. Look at the before and after, right? Everyone has left. Office Depot, nope, we're gone. And Walgreens getting their freezers locked up. You get the idea. Nobody in their right minds wants to open a store in San Francisco. And with the mall being handed back to its lender, they're trying to find a new buyer for this, but there's not a single buyer. Because guess what? Occupancy before they shut down was 55%, which pretty much means like half the mall is empty. Whereas Westfield said that their other malls across the country only had a vacancy rate of 3 to 7%, not 45% vacancy rates. Now, this is terrible. This building, the reason why they just stopped paying for it is the building's value is worth so little. They owe $558 million, but the building is probably only worth $150 to $200 million max. So their debt is like 2 to 3 times higher than what the actual building is worth. So they're like, screw this, we're just gonna default on the debt. The bank can have it back. Now, the value of the building is super high and way higher than like $558 million, and that's a different story. They're probably gonna stay longer, but because the building's worthless, the tenants are gone, the street conditions are crazy, there's constant theft, and it's just such a massive headache for Westfield. They just close it down. They're like, screw this place, we're leaving. And look at all of these major closures and departures. This is going to be Union Square area. This is where the mall is. This is where all the major shopping happens. And this is also where some of the biggest hotels are. Park 55. They own 3,000 hotels. They've closed down. Hilton has closed down. Yotel has closed down. Whole Foods Market has closed down. Nordstrom Rack is gone. AT&T's flagship store in the city has fully left. And all these guys report the same thing, right? They're all afraid of being canceled for saying this. I don't understand why. It's just a ton of shoplifting. A lot of homeless people everywhere, and there's tents everywhere, and there's fentanyl everywhere. There's people doing drugs everywhere. I mean, how can you how can you even operate a business? Like, are you gonna lock everything up? I mean, that's just crazy. Like, even Saks off Fifth. Guys, when these anchor retailers leave a city, that city is basically over. It's not about one retailer or two retailer or three major retailers. We're talking about closer to 30 to 40 major retailers and hotels all going bankrupt and leaving the city. And there's only like 2 companies moving in, Chanel and also IKEA. But there's like 40 to 50 other companies leaving. And I guarantee you Chanel is definitely going to regret opening their shop in San Francisco because they're going to probably get a robbery on grand opening day. I'm not even joking. I mean, look at Sunglass Hut, right? This is like a smaller mall in San Francisco. You know, people just go into the sunglass store, robbing a bunch of sunglasses, and that's pretty much about it. They just take the glasses, run. Are arrests being made? Absolutely not. There's barely any arrests being made. You know, the cops are short. San Francisco PD, apparently, with the whole defund the police situation, they're down like $120 million. They're down 600, 700 different police officers. Not to mention the absurd laws of San Francisco, where thieves are basically untouchable by law enforcement. Law enforcement, I'm sure, they want to do something, but they can't. This city is basically a dump. It's a trash city. They don't care at all about the citizens and business owners. They just do dumb stuff just stupid stuff every single day. Whereas, you know, a normal city will definitely care a lot about their business owners. Hopefully San Francisco fixes itself up. This is still one of my favorite cities. I've visited like back in 2019 and 2018. It's a fantastic place with a lot of things to offer: cultural, downtown, tech, parks, beaches, you name it. But I'll probably never visit it again if they never change things up. And according to a lot of people, they feel like this city is too far gone. Even the Salesforce CEO is saying the same exact thing. The city is too far gone to be fixed. But let's see what happens.